Hello, welcome to Prajim Technologies. I am Venkat. This is part 17 of SQL Server. In this session, we'll talk about the purpose of union and union all, the differences between them, and finally, we'll also talk about the differences between joins and unions. Union and union all operators in SQL Server are used to combine the result set of two or more select queries. Let's understand what we mean by this with an example. We have two tables here, TBL India customers and TBL UK customers. And both of these tables have identical columns, ID, name, email in both of the tables. Now let's say if I issue a select query against these two tables, look at this. I am issuing two different select queries, and if I just execute them, look at the result. I get two separate result sets. Okay, in TBL India customers we have got two rows, and TBL UK customers we have got two rows, and I get these as two separate result sets. Now let's say I want to combine both of the result sets into one result set. How do I do that? Using union or union all. Okay, let's first try to use union all and see what happens. Okay, so select star from TBL India customers table, and then I'm saying union all select star from TBL UK customers, and when I execute this query, look at what's going to happen. It's going to combine the rows from TBL India customers with the rows from TBL UK customers. So when I use this union all, I'm combining the result sets from these two select queries. Okay, now instead of using union all, if I just say union, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, look at this. I got only 3 rows, but let's put it back to union all. We get 4 rows, and if you look at the output here, there is a duplicate record here. Number 2 Sam and email is s@s.com. So when I use union all, I'm getting all the rows including the duplicates. But the moment I remove union all, and if I just use union, look at what happens to Sam record. When I execute this, we have got only one Sam record, and look at the output, it is sorted as well. Okay, but whereas when we use union all, it's basically not sorted. It takes all the rows from TBL India customers, combines them with the rows from TBL UK customers and just gives the output. But whereas when you use union, it's doing two things here. It's removing duplicates, and it's also sorting the results. Okay, we'll talk about the differences between union and union all in the next slide. So if you look at the differences between union and union all, union removes duplicate rows, whereas union all doesn't remove them. And another difference is, for union to actually remove the duplicates, it has to perform a distinct sort, and then it has to remove the duplicates. So for this reason, union is a little slower than union all. And this distinct sort operation is actually resource intensive, in the sense it's time consuming. Okay, if you want to see that, you can actually turn on the estimated query execution plan in SQL Server Management Studio. And to do that, you can either press Ctrl L, or you have an icon here which displays an estimated execution plan. So display estimated execution plan. When we click that, what's going to happen is it's going to show us the estimated execution plan. Look at this. In the display here, the distinct sort is actually taking 63% of the time. Okay, but whereas on the other hand, when I use union all and we say display estimated execution plan, there is no distinct sort. Okay, so it just selects the records from TBL India customers and then combines them with the result from TBL UK customers and just displays them. But whereas when we use union, it has to first sort the records and then remove the duplicates, which is a little time consuming. So for this reason, union is a little slower than union all. So these are the two differences between union and union all. Union removes duplicate rows, whereas union all doesn't, and union is a little slower than union all because of the fact that it has to perform that distinct sort to remove duplicates. And this is a common interview question that's asked these days. Okay, so obviously if you use union, we don't get the duplicates, whereas when you use union all, we get the duplicates. Okay, and remember, for union and union all to work, the number, data types, and the order of the columns in the select statement should be the same. Okay, because, and that should make sense as well. When we actually execute this query, look at this. If we have to combine the results of this select statement with the results of this select statement, obviously the data types and the number of columns has to be same. Okay, on the other hand, if you just say here I want ID and name, and if you say here I want all the three columns, ID, name, and the email. Okay, now if I try to execute this, look at this. Looking at itself, you can say, okay, first select statement is giving 2 columns, whereas this one is giving 3 columns. How can we combine them? We can't do that. So obviously, when we try to execute that, we get an error. All queries combined using a union must have an equal number of expressions in their target list, which means equal number of columns. Not only that, okay, it's not enough if you just have equal number of columns. They should be in the right order. Instead of, if you say, I want ID as the last column, it doesn't really make sense. Okay, how can you combine ID with email? Okay, you can't do that. So when we execute this, look at this, the conversion fail. Okay, because what's happening, it's trying to convert either this one, I mean name to integer, and it fails. Okay, because it detects this as an integer column and it tries to convert this to integer, and it can't be. The implicit conversion fails and we get the error. So the number of the columns has to be the same, the data types have to be the same, and they have to be in the same order. Okay, now you can do this. Okay, look at this. I'm saying, okay, I want ID. You can say ID and email and then name. Okay, you can do this. When I execute this, look at what's going to happen. Okay, I get the output, but if you look at the output, emails are combined with names, and similarly here names are combined with emails. Okay, so as long as the data types are similar, it tries to combine them. Even if they are different, it tries to do an implicit conversion. If the implicit conversion works, then it selects them and combines them. Okay, but if the implicit conversion fails, that's when we get an error. So remember, the number of columns and their data types have to be similar, and even the order has to be the same. If in your first query you have the first column as integer, in the second query the first column has to be integer. If here it's an nvar_char, this has to be an nvar_char, basically a string one, a string column. Okay, so their data types and their orders have to match, and you need to have equal number of columns. Otherwise, the union or union all doesn't work. You get an error. And we have already spoken about the differences between union and union all. And sorting the results of a union or union all. Okay, this is interesting, and we know that to sort the results, in SQL we use the order by clause. But let's say I have, let's use star for now. Okay, let's say I'm saying select star from India customers, union select star from UK customers. When we execute this, we get the results. Now let's say I want to sort the results by name. Okay, how do I do that? We use the order by class. So order by maybe name. When we do that, look at this, it's not sorted now, but the moment I execute this query, it sorts the results for us. Okay, now if I use order by on the first query, let's see what is going to happen. Now when I execute this, look at this. It gives us an error stating incorrect syntax near the keyword. And it makes sense. Look at this. How does union all works? It takes the rows from this table, combines them with the rows from this table. Now it doesn't make sense to first take sorted rows and then combine. Your result will again become unsorted. That's why after getting all the results, then sort the results finally using your order by clause. That's why I think order by should be only within the last select statement. For example, I have another table called TBL US customers. So when I say union all select star from TBL US customers, and we execute that, it's going to get all the rows from all the tables and then it's going to sort them. Okay, but on the other hand, if you try to use it on the second select, you still get an error, you know. Okay, so if you want to sort the results of union, use the order by clause on the last select statement, like so. Alright, and differences between union and join. We have spoken about joins in the previous sessions in this video series. Okay, now unions and joins are two separate things. Okay, but however, these days people are asking this question: what's the difference between a union and join? Okay, join, basically, if you look at this, union combines the result set of two or more select queries into a single result set, which includes all the rows from all the queries in that union. Whereas what a join does is it retrieves data from two or more tables based on the logical relationship between those two tables. So usually tables are related to each other using primary and foreign keys. Okay, so we will take the foreign key and look up its value in the other table and join the columns together in those related tables. Whereas in union, we basically combine the rows. So in short, the difference between a union and a join is that union combine rows from two or more tables, whereas join combines columns from two or more tables. For example, we have seen the examples of union. We have taken rows from TBL USA customers and joined them with TBL UK customer rows. Now we did a horizontal kind of a join. Whereas if you look at basically not join, it's union. Okay, but whereas when you look at a join, for example, we have TBL employees table and TBL departments table. In TBL employees table, we have got department ID column, which we then look up in the departments table, and maybe we retrieve the department name. So from TBL employees table, I get employee name and maybe his age, and then from TBL department table, we get the department name. So in joins, we are combining the columns between two or more tables, whereas in a union, we are combining rows between two or more tables. On this slide, you can find resources for ASP.NET and C# interview questions. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.